Today is a special day because it's Monday, and it's one of my vacation days. And during my absence last week, my dream KTB has been delivered, and it's this one. It looks like the KTB II. Indeed, it is the brother of it. The only difference to the KTB II is the horn on belly. And we have black rayskin here. We have red hoodies and the typical red string breeches. The string breeches are covered with red sheepskin, and we have here cowhide. Yes, so this is about the materials, and furthermore, if we go to the materials first, we have at the limbs buffalo horn at the belly. Then we have inside hard maple wood. We have a carbon core, somewhere is fiberglass, and a varnishing lacquer over the birch bark. And the handle is cork. Then we have, as already said, string breeches covered with sheepskin, and the hoodies with cow leather, and we have here a fast flight string, like that. And of course a twine, but this is not mentioned here, but it is there. As you can see, the tiller is similar to the other KTB II, means that the upper limb is a bit weaker. That's the case here. You see it's more rounded, whereas here it's more flat. The specs of this bow, length nock to nock, is 49 inches. The KTB II is 50 inches. And you see the effect on it later if it comes to the F value. The length strung is 46 inches, and the nominal strength is not written on the bow, but I think it's 40 pounds. Then we have a max draw, I think the same as for the other KTB II, 31.6 inches. The brace height from here to there is 5.5 inches, so it's quite flat. We have an arrow path thickness of 26.5 millimeters. Then a weight of 320 grams, so it's heavier than the KTB II. It had only 260 grams, but this is clear because of the horn. And we have a dogoji to tip length of 7 inches in total. Handle length 3.5 inches length, and bending length in total 38.5 inches. And this results in an F value totally in 0.65. The KTB II, the authentic one, has 0.63. Okay, the strength feels very good. Usually, if the bow has the strength, I don't shoot it the Korean style because I need to practice more on that one. But I shoot the Turkish style, and it's about 38 or so inches. Pound, and this we will find out now. 28 is, yeah, the blue one. To the back side. And it's 37.42. 37.42. And 31. 46, precisely. 46. Excellent. What else? This bow came with this very nice bow sleeve. It's not a sleeve, it's a bag. So I want to show you here the back. See? The back. And with an extra sleeve. And just in case I don't like cork anymore, which won't happen, I have here these bands that I can add on for the sportive grip. So these are the arrows I would like to shoot. And there's something you can do if you have a hornbow. It's not 100% hornbow would be if there would be sinews here on the back. But we have horn, and there you can go and correct the tiller like this. Yeah, so a bit, and leave it strung for a bit, maybe 2 hours or so, and then it will have an even shape. But as you can see, I've done this before. If you release this aid here for a while, then it goes back into its normal shape. Okay, that's it for now, and now we can shoot. Okay, just for reference, we have here in the sun around 33 degrees Celsius and around 30% humidity. Okay, first of all, I'll show you the handle fitting. As always, I like this gap here, so the handle is perfect for me. It looks good. I show you the profile on the side. You see that the limbs are a bit different, but it was the same with the KTB II. Okay, we have now 2 arrows. The first, that's slightly lighter one, has 387 grain. I would need 337 or 38 at 28 inches draw. So I'm on the safe side with this one. And the red ones are a bit heavier. They have 400 grain. Both have a spine of 500 and have nearly the same length. Okay, we choose the lighter arrows first, and I hope that they... You see, this is the trouble if you have long feathers and a short brace height. First shot. Nearly center shot. So there was a slapping sound. So the bow is relatively loud. I will change the brace height potentially after the third one. That was off. Yeah, let's change the brace height a bit. Maybe this is the reason. Yeah. The 400 grain. They knock a little tighter. I think the sound is nicer with these ones. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I like the red ones more on this one. I'll show you. a little sprayed, but as you can see, this was the first one, the second, third was off, and then I don't know precisely, I think this was the last one, and these were the first of the red ones. So the bow is still straight after shooting. My first KTB II was a bit like, but the second works very nicely, and this was 1-2. Okay, next round. So I have not yet a knocking point. I stand with the foot to the towards the target and with the shoulder as well, as I have learned from Armin. Center shot. The sound is very nice. So with these arrows, it sounds much nicer. It's boop, and that's it. So very cool. It sounds adult. I show you. Not too bad. After the sound, I'll double check vibration. Minimal. Directly after the shot, none. No. So no, of course, no hand shock. The bow is far too expensive to have hand shock. It's not only a question of the price, but usually if you have high quality bows, they usually don't have hand shock. And since not a fiberglass bow, I don't expect hand shock. It doesn't have it. And so this fulfills my expectation. And furthermore, what we have, a little vibration here. 1, 2, so a little more than 2, 2.5. 1, 2, done. So around 2 seconds or so. But this is normal. Yeah, you have the oscillation of the string, and since we have here a contact bow, I don't mind. Yeah, the only important thing is that you don't have vibrations after the shot. And this is perfect. Okay, next round. So since this is a relatively short bow, it's very handy. I like short bows. Now, one leg shooting. Works, reverse shooting, only speed shooting, still not. Yeah, nearly center shot. Works very nicely. So the bow shoots very nice, despite the asymmetrical tiller, but it's really cool. Oh, interesting bug. Okay, awesome. Now let's do a speed test. Speed test with 400 grain heavy arrows made by Martin Sperry. $168. $167. 169. Reasonable values. I'll calculate this down to 9 grain per pound and then I'll tell you the result. Okay, the result is impressive. The arrow weight was 400 grain, which means it turned out to have 10.69 grain per pound, yeah, which is quite heavy. Nevertheless, the bow likes it. But calculated down to the 9 grain per pound, to compare it to the other Korean bows that I have, it will end up at a speed of 194.5 feet per second. This is what the numbers tell me. And this is the fastest bow I have, for sure. None of the other bows I have had reached the speed. It's impressive. The authentic KTB II had a speed calculated down to 9 grain per pound of 173. Maybe my shooting was better today or whatever. The bow is fast. Point. So I don't need to correct the string. This is really good, really good. And you see now the tiller. Yeah, a little bit of a difference. But honestly, it doesn't prevent the bow from shooting nicely and fast, as we have found out. Awesome. Center shot. Not the Résumé, but direct comparison with the KTB II, my KTB II. This is the one. There is a separate video about it. And you can see here directly differences in the shape here of the limb. You see that it's going smaller. This is wide. Even if I turn around it the right way, here you can see it. Yeah, the shape here is, in German it's tailliert. So it goes slim and then gets wider again. Yeah, interesting. Furthermore, if we have here the two, oops, like this, yeah, very similar. And if we have a look at the tiller, you can see that the horn KTB is more flat in the profile, whereas the laminated version is more rounded. But it has an asymmetrical tiller as well. Show you like this. How to hold two bows. Yeah, here you can see it. It's not that obvious here with the KTB II, more obvious with this one, with the horn version. Yeah, and I think from here you can also see it, that the horn version is a little thinner or not as wide as the laminated version. Here. And the tip, the very end, is a little shorter. So, and there is more. Okay. Values. Put it here, the table. The length, knock to knock, is 1 inch difference. We had this before. It results in an F value which is 0.2 better than the standard version. I have 10 more pound nominal. I think it's a 40 pounder. And if I have my effective strength at 28 inches draw length, there is 12 pound difference. So we have 37 versus 25. Max draw, I think, is the same. That's the reason why, so there's no other information. Race height is the same. Arrow pass is thinner with the horn version, as you could have seen it already with the bare eye. Measurements are 26.5 versus 28 millimeters. Weight is a little more because of the horn, and the woody to tip length is a little shorter with the horn version, 7 inches versus 7.8. Handle length is the same, and bending length is 0.2 shorter than with the standard version. Recommended arrow weight is always around 9 grain per pound, usually. That's the reason why I have calculated down to the 9 grain per pound for the speed test. The price of the bow is more expensive due to the horn. So we have 559 euros. It's $580 that I have paid, but it meant for me 559 euros. And the authentic KTB II was 495 euros. The arrow weight, of course, was now higher. And yeah, the speed, we had it just a few seconds before, 194.5 versus 173. Phenomenal. Really good. So these are the bare numbers. And now the question, what do I think of my horn version of the KTB II? I like a lot. So it's really an awesome bow, and it has all my dream features. The only thing a bit is the tiller that is not always right. The bow works fine, but it looks sometimes a bit strange. But now, I think after shooting, the tiller got better. But still, this one, the top limb is a bit more. But it's not that obvious anymore. So this lower limb has also get some roundness meanwhile. So you need to shoot the bow, or better, I need to shoot the bow, and which is no problem. From the optics, I really enjoy this rounded back, and the horn, just look at this pattern here. Awesome, isn't it? So I always know where the top is because this pattern is on the top limb. This is really nice. And these string bridges are, I think they just make it thousands of them and then just glue it on. As you can see here, it's wider than the limb, so it can be seen from the top. So there needs to be a version that's a bit smaller and could be black. Furthermore, we have the leather hoodie not covered the tip fully, only a bit, whereas the others don't have it too. So this is standard for this bow, yeah, okay. And it would have been nice if you write the poundage, the nominal poundage on the bow. At least a bit. Yeah, so the nominal poundage and max draw. So for the Korean bows, it's usually around 31, 31.3 or 6, like this. I'm fine if it's not on a Korean bow, but the poundage should be written on it, really. So currently I have guessed it. So I thought, yeah, I order a 40-pound bow, but that doesn't mean that I get a 40-pound bow. So it would be always good to note it down, because I have quite a number of bows and I can mix it up too. And it's good if it's written on it. Yeah. The rest, the build quality is very good. It's a very nice birch bark, and I will protect it with special wax that it doesn't dry out. You can do the same. Usually there is lacquer on it. It's a natural sealing, I think it's a liquid, so it's protected, but this protection doesn't last forever, and so you need to renew it. If you put a wax on it, it helps the bow to keep the moisture in, especially for the birch bark. You can also do it with a horn. It likes it a lot. My horn bows are treated by the bowyer with this wax. It's antique wax, it's called. And if you are interested, I can note it down in the comments if you want to know. So I will do it after the review, and then the bow is nicely protected. What else? The sound is very nice too. It has a dark sound. Here it sounds brighter, but at shooting, after the shot, it's dark. The draw is very smooth. You could see it in the drawing curve as well. So it builds up nicely and even. Yeah. Very nice. The handle is awesome, so I like it. Yeah, it's the YNG handle has a little more spine on the back, but this is just great. And if you have a cork handle like this, you do not need the grip band. It would be a shame to cover it with a grip band, honestly. But I can use the grip band for another bow. So this is awesome. Thank you very much for sending this as well. The rayskin is awesome, and I wished for the black one. Benefit, and you see it here, doesn't give any black traces on the black rayskin. Obvious, no? So. And potentially I will set myself knocking points here. The Korean bows relatively often have two, so you place the arrow between them. I think it's quite nice. Not necessary, but it's nice. And usually they thicken up the center serving here, because the nocks are wider than the ones we use. So to wrap it up, in a nutshell, yes, it's my dream KTB bow. Very cool, looks very authentic, like ancient bows may have been looked like. It has horn, so I like the natural materials. It has the birch bark, it's the rounded back. Cork is awesome as a handle, I think so. And the bow is extremely fast, one of the fastest bows I have here. And it has a very nice pattern here with the horn. You cannot plan for this, it happens or it doesn't. And yeah, this is all cool. So thank you, Freddie, very much for ordering this bow at the bowyer and doing all that stuff. It has turned out very nicely and worked very nicely, so the bow was there without any troubles. Thank you very much. And for the rest of you, thank you very much for watching. Wish you a great start into the week and enjoy archery. Keep you updated with the next one. It will be the Deadpool bow by Brian Gulotta, who has sent the bow to Dave, who has reviewed it. Dave has sent it to me. I will send it to Armin, and currently the bow is sent to customs, and I will need to explain them why I don't have an invoice. So, okay, but this will be an interesting conversation, and maybe I keep you updated about this one. Okay, thank you, bye-bye.